So in this episode I'm going to talk to you about the Hyperloop and why the Hyperloop is so interesting to the theatre and entertainment industry. First of all, I want to explain a little bit about what the Hyperloop is, in case you haven't seen it before. The Hyperloop is a train, but it exists inside a tube. The idea was first thought of a couple of hundred years ago, but it's taken today's technology to make it a reality. So the idea is you take a long tube that runs from 2 points, A to B, you suck out all of the air, because the air creates drag on trains, and that's what creates limitations on it reaching a really, really high speed. So the Hyperloop, which is a torpedo that's effectively a train that holds 10, 12 people in it, is positioned inside this tube, has a perfect seal around the tube, and it propels itself along with wheels and motors, just like a normal train would, but without any drag from the air. It means it can reach top speeds of up to 500 miles an hour. It can accelerate to 116 miles an hour in just 1 second and deaccelerate just as quickly. What this means is that it can travel from London to Birmingham in 12 minutes. It can go on to Glasgow in a further 20 minutes, creating a potential travelling time of 30 to 40 minutes to go all the way across the country in the UK. Now, this is very interesting for us because at the moment, I work in the West End, and the West End is our central theatre district. There's theatres all over the country, of course, but the large majority of theatres are in London. So we are looking at our potential market in two types. There is the commuter market, that is the people who can get in and out of London in a night. So they'll travel in, have some dinner, watch a show, and get home in time for a decent bedtime. And then there's the tourist market. They're the people that travel in, book a hotel, stay for the night while watching a show, and then travel back the next day. Now, those people have a harder time making it to London because they have additional costs. They have costs of meals, they have costs of the hotel, transport costs are higher. So if we were able to bring these people into the theatre more easily, our potential audience capacity would increase. Now, our commuter market is Greater London, and Greater London has a travel time of around 40 minutes to an hour. So as long as you live within an hour's train journey of the centre of London, you are in the commuter belt, and that means that you have easy access to the theatre. With the Hyperloop coming along, its potential means that you could have people living in Edinburgh or Glasgow, or even Bordeaux, Berlin, Greenland, going up north, going down as far as South France, all of whom are in the commuter belt and could all come to London in one evening. It's completely feasible for you to walk out of an office in the middle of Paris and be in London in time for a 7:30 show start and get home in time for a decent night's sleep. So we've just increased our audience capacity enormously. And not just for London, this is a potential for the whole of the UK, the whole world in fact, because now those theatres that are incredibly successful, create amazing work, but exist on their own. Chichester Festival springs to mind, the Curve in Leicester. These are all places where there are fantastic works being created, but there isn't necessarily a easy transport link to them. So people in London aren't travelling up to see these shows because they already have a large theatre market in London. But now it's possible for these new theatre hubs to start to grow, to create more theatres, to be a central place for people to come to see shows, because I could leave London at 6 o'clock in the evening and make it in time to see a show in Edinburgh during the Fringe Festival and still get it home in time for a decent night's sleep. So the Hyperloop is going to completely revolutionise the potential market for the theatre. In China, they're developing something that is so fast that it could potentially travel from Beijing to London in 4 hours. That means that you could do a day trip from China to London to see a show and get back again, all in one day. Currently, the travel time is about 12 to 14 hours. So this is a really interesting new technology for the theatre industry. And I'm not saying that it will completely change the way we produce our shows in any way. It's not directly related to the jobs that we do as technicians and artists, but it will create new jobs, new work. We'll be increasing our audience capacity because we can sell the seats. And who knows, you might find whole new districts of the world coming out with fantastic new theatre districts that didn't exist before, with new types of artwork that we can go and experience. Thank you for listening.